here we go. Here we go. What is up, guys? It's your boy Sean Flac 2.0 coming at you live and direct here from the studio. From the studio via satellite, who I have with me here. I have right above me, we got Mr. Krinlee. What's up, Mr. Krinlee?
Hey, hope everyone's doing good.
Man, we try to be. It's 100,000 degrees in here. I'm going to introduce somebody last, so we'll go ahead right next to me here on the side. We got Sensei Jon in the house. What's up, player?
What's up, y'all? Don't mind me. I'm just getting my little munch on before I get my swerve on.
And last but not least, we want to welcome back the last two episodes you missed. So a lot of dad life stuff going on. NjordGod is in the house this week. Welcome back, Njord.
Yes, who's back
Oh no.
again.
We got a really good show for you tonight, guys. It is actually our season 2 together. It's our season 5 finale. Just want to say to everybody, first and foremost, thank you for continuing to listen and show us your support. So we got a good show. Again, the season finale. We got a little bit of news. We want to try to do some breaking news every episode. So Sensei Jon's going to lead us on with some breaking news. We got What's in Your Cup. And then we got the welcome back. Njord missed a couple episodes, a couple recordings. He had some comments that he wanted to add on there. Apparently, we're about to be in for a lesson, a history lesson. So I'm excited to hear about that. And then we'll kind of take it from there. Our usual format for our season finale is to do a recap of the seasons and kind of talk about the different episodes and topics and how we felt about them. If we get to that, we'll hit it, and if not, we'll maybe continue the conversation in our After Dark episode. All right, so just the very beginning, want to say shout out to all our patrons. Thank you for all the support you've given us this season, last season. If you aren't a patron, you get basically patrons get 2 episodes a week. You get one free one here, and then of course you get the Patreon episode that's free for all of our patron, or that is paid by all of our patrons. If you're not a patron and you're interested in supporting us and getting that second episode a week, go ahead and head over to shadowpackwest.com. Right there on the splash page, you can hit the button there. It'll take you right to our Patreon page where you can start your patronage as low as $1 a month. And you get access to all of our behind the scenes and all of our After Dark episodes. And then, of course, anything in the future we got going on. So once again, thank you for all the patrons out there. Also, shout out to shadowpackwest.com where you could get all of our contact information, how you could get in with us. We have our blogs posted up there. Videos are posted up there as well. Go ahead and check it out, shadowpackwest.com. And let's go with some beginning show shout-outs. Let's start off with Mr. Krinlee. What you got, sir?
I don't have any real shout-outs this week.
Okay. Sensei, we already know what your shout-out is going to be, so hit us with it.
To the Almighty above. Can't live without him, and bless all y'all out there listening. Let's get it.
Let's get it. Njord, you got anything before we get started?
Yeah, I actually want to shout out all of us blue collar workers.
Amen to that.
It's damned hot out there, right? Like someone turned on that damn heater and it won't go away. But to be real, right? Like as blue collar workers, we don't get shouted out enough. Okay, we don't get the respect that we think that we're due, or the love that we feel like we're deserved. But I see you. I'm one of you. I'm a brother. All right. Like we get shit done no matter what part of the blue collar field we're in. Okay, we make this world go round. So shout out to y'all.
Amen to that.
Yep.
Okay, so let's get right into it. Mr. Krinlee, kick us off. What you got, sir?
I have what is in your cup, and I'll go ahead and start off with the good old faithful. Whoa, easy there. Voodoo Ranger, back with the Tropic Force again.
What was the other one? Fruit Force last week?
Fruit Force. They got a new one out called Peach Force, and it's pretty good. I don't like it as much as these, but it's still pretty good. They're all 9.5, so they'll get you fucked up. They're good.
Yeah. That's where we like to be.
Okay. Sensei, what you got? What's in your cup, player?
Oh, man, let me show y'all, man. We got a little pouring action. I mean, we got the little little glass of wine, keeping it live. Back to the 2019 Going back in time to Sassoon Creek, little Cabernet Sauvignon, you know, a little old in the future type
Okay.
deal. Uh, yeah, just enjoying this. That's what
Okay.
I love, man.
You know what? Can I give you guys a little tip about some wine? One of my friends told me. He said the first bottle of wine you crack is always going to be your best bottle of wine. And then every bottle of wine you crack after that is subpar. Because by that time, people can't taste the difference.
Oh, you're talking about
Yeah.
after this bottle?
Yes.
If
After
I
you,
crack another one?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. That if you're at a
Yeah, they do.
party, you crack
They
the
do
first
all start
round.
tasting the same.
Right. So they say crack your first bottles, your best bottles first, and everyone after that just crack some subpar shit because it all tastes the same after a while.
Hey, that's good advice. There you go.
Okay, what's in my cup? Actually, again, because it's a million degrees in here, I actually got water in this cup right here. And then the little fun drink I got, I got to stick with the Waterloo's blackberry lemonade. If I'm drinking this, I'm going to work tomorrow. So, you know what I'm saying?
All right.
Right. So,
Hey, I've got some Waterloos in my fridge right now.
right. Okay. And then we got the major reveal. NjordGod, hit us with what you got.
So all season long, and I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I think I failed going back and completely watching the last 2 episodes that I missed. We've been the question this season was, what is in my cup? What do I typically drink? Well, did we get anybody? My question is did anybody guess what was in my cup?
Unfortunately, no.
The hurt, the pain, but
Womp, womp,
no.
womp, womp.
Jameson Black Barrel, not to be mistaken with regular Green Label Jameson. This is the Black Barrel. This stuff is so smooth. It's freaking fantastic. So that is what I have already killed 1 cup of.
That looks like more than a cup.
We don't talk about it.
Hey, a pint is a cup.
Okay.
Just like Bruno, we don't talk about it.
Yeah, I'm not talking about Bruno.
All right. Sensei, we got some breaking news you sent to the chat to us earlier. Hit us with it. Let us know what we're talking about. What's the cultural
we got some breaking
significance?
news. Well, as you guys may know, and if you don't know out there, we have the opening ceremonies today, which is July 25th or 26th, excuse me, for the Olympics. And it is in Paris, France, this year. So shout out to everybody, all the Americans out there participating. Yeah, and today, of course, I mean, I guess could it be par for the course? It's always some mess, right? We got some saboteurs targeting the railway network systems out in Paris, where they left people stranded today. People had to find alternate means in order to get to the Olympic Games today. These saboteurs basically sabotaged what they call their signal systems, which basically, from what I read, power the trains, and it made it to where the trains couldn't move. And in this article, one of the what I take from it, managers was stating that, or what is it, the ICO or IPO guy, whatever, the guy that stands in front of the camera to tell you everything.
Oh, yeah.
He was saying that it's nearly impossible for them to even guard all of these places all at once, as well as it was very coordinated. So evidently they had some insider information, and they went on ahead and knocked out the power, and we have had people not being able to get to their Olympic Games, or even be close, or even just feel the vibe next to the downtown area or the capital near the Olympics. So that is the breaking news. Other than that, I'm really hoping and praying that nothing else happens. It's always something. Remember back in when it was out here in Atlanta, we had a bombing.
Yeah.
And actually, if you guys didn't notice, the Olympic Games will be hosted here in California, in Los Angeles, in 2028. So, um, yeah. But getting back on topic, yeah, that was the gist of the whole article. If you would like to find that article, it is on the New York Times, and you can just type in railway Paris sabotage, and it'll come right up.
Okay.
And good luck to all the athletes.
Okay. Breaking news coming from Sensei Jon. All right. Well, like I said, I want to say welcome back to Njord. He wants to do a little catch up, make some comments. We appreciate you. We missed you. If you
Missed
didn't
y'all
see,
too.
yeah, we shouted you out every episode, and we're glad you're back here with us in the studio. So, all right, take it away, Njord. What you got?
So yeah, I'm back just like Slim Shady or Marshall Mathers. You know how they've combined now. If y'all haven't seen that music video Houdini yet, you're missing out because that was a blast of nostalgia. I'm just saying. Um, but yeah, I've been super busy with work. I believe the first episode I missed was I was on call. Okay, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys that the Friday night before, so we typically record on a Saturday, right? The Friday night before, I went to work at 6:30 in the morning, and I didn't come home until 4:30 Saturday morning. So,
Wow.
it it was
Shout out to you, bro. You're working hard,
Right.
oh God,
keeping the people's
and
water on, man.
my crew
Yeah, yeah.
was fantastic. Um,
What's a man without his crew, huh?
Right, exactly. But all week, on call, and by the time I got off call, right, I was just exhausted. Spent some time with the family. You know, that was the second weekend that I missed. So, when you're out all day, every day, and not guaranteed to be home, once you finally get off, you actually get to let loose just a little bit and catch up on time.
Right.
Right. So doing that dad life thing, but I went back and obviously while I had my hiatus, we had a significant event in U.S. history happen. Okay, and I don't know if our listeners know. I know I just recently told you guys I am a very avid U.S. history buff. Okay, I love it to death. Um, so naturally, the assassination attempt on Donald, former president and current presidential candidate Donald Trump, um, intrigued me. Okay, beyond my politics, beyond all of that, the core history of it all got to me. Okay, um, and there's a couple of things that from the conversation that was held within the episode that I wanted to touch on, right? And I'm not going to go right into the history lesson just yet. I'm going to go on to I want to start into things we know now versus what we knew when y'all started talking about it.
Right. And
Okay.
to preface what he said when we recorded it, it just happened. So there was a
Yeah.
lot of speculation in our conversation. So go back and listen to that, listeners, to kind of, if you need a little refresher. I think it was episode 8. And so George's going to comment on episode 8. But again, we did not know a lot at the time.
Right. At the time, there was a lot of who done it.
How did it
Right?
happen? Right.
Exactly. So, I mean, obviously, it has been identified as the shooter. His name is Thomas Matthew Crooks. Okay, 20-year-old kitchen worker out of Pennsylvania. Um, One of the first things that I really wanted to that kind of caught me that we know now that we didn't know then that Sean talked about was the failure of the Secret Service.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
That was a long
high
pause
level
right there.
government.
Sorry.
Okay.
So,
So I wanted to talk about the failures of the Secret Service that Sean touched on. Right. I actually happen to know some individuals who work in high level government security, primarily for our State Department or our military. And I'm going to tell you, which again, we do know this now because the head of the Secret Service has been put under congressional subpoena and has testified before Congress at this time already.
and didn't she got resigned, didn't she?
Yes,
I
she had to
did
step
not
down.
know. I did not know the outcome of that.
Okay.
But if that's the case, then yes, she
Oh yeah,
has
she gone.
Yeah.
good, as she should be.
Yeah.
Okay. The complete and utter failure of the Secret Service on all of this was heinous.
Right.
Okay. The line of sight within, so the measurement of the distance between the shooter and Donald Trump was only 430 yards. Okay.
That's a long way.
No,
Not
that's
for a
a
shooter.
very
No.
that's very short distance. He just had an AR.
Oh,
Okay, he did not have a high-powered rifle. He just had a semi-automatic AR.
is that why he was so inaccurate?
Well, he's also known in his history to be a terrible shot.
Ah,
Okay, and I'm gonna be completely honest with you. He was half an inch away from completing his mission.
yeah.
Okay, so to even have that much of a distance, that's scary. Okay, I don't care who was up on that podium. I don't care what your politics are. Okay, because this is apolitical. I'm not talking about politics at the moment. I'm talking about the history and the facts. Okay, that's scary. All right. But the failure of the Secret Service, because it has since come out as well that Thomas Crooks had been identified 2 times prior to the shooting in that crowd as a suspicious individual, and nothing was done about it. Okay, the lack in response time, like Sean pointed out, of the shot, and then there's literally like 4 or 5 seconds between the shot, Trump going down, and then the Secret Service moving. That should not have happened. If you actually go back and watch the video of the sniper who actually neutralized the threat, right? He hears the shot, and instead of relying on his training, he comes away from his scope, okay? Like he's startled. And it takes him a couple seconds to get back on it. That's where you have the other shots coming out. Okay. Again, the massive failure on all of this was just ridiculous. Okay. So that's something that I wanted to point out, and of course and not answering any questions whatsoever. That was appalling to me.
And this is the head of the Secret Service.
Yeah, head of the Secret Service who has since resigned.
Right.
Okay.
Appalling. Why?
She didn't
The
answer any questions.
She refused to answer congressional questions.
Yeah. During her congressional interview, she kept saying, "Well, we don't have the information," and the guy
Please
was
refer
like,
to the FBI.
Yeah.
Please refer to the FBI.
She was like,
but the FBI told you this information, and she said,
Yeah.
yes. Then what is the information? I need you to refer to the FBI criminal investigation.
And he kept saying that it's been 9 days. It's been 9 days since this incident. You should have all the information by now. And she was like, I can't. If you look at her performance, it's utterly.
I knew she was about to resign.
Well, again, we could have all the backwater theories about how all that kind of came down or whatever, but it's for me when I watch stuff like that, it's embarrassing when people sit there and they call it in public speaking, it's called vanilla ice cream is what it's called, and it's basically no matter what the question is, you always refer back to vanilla ice cream. It's like no matter what they say or whatever, however they reword it, whatever the case is, you always go back to vanilla. You never answer the question. You circle it and bring it back to vanilla ice cream.
Well, maybe she didn't want to incriminate herself in order to, just in case she might be brought up on some charges or something.
Yeah.
But again,
if you were to go down the black hole.
I think one of our congressmen sat here and said, "You claim that the buck stops with you, correct?" Yes, it does. Okay. Well, then answer the questions. The congressional hearing subpoenaed documents that they never got. Okay. Again, just from start to finish, the Secret Service handling of all this has been horrendous.
Right.
Okay. Because there's information that the American public is
privy
due.
to. Yeah.
Well, we're owed this information.
Did you see the body cam footage?
No, I did not.
There is body cam footage now out of persons running over to where he laid, and it didn't show the body, but you can definitely see the body. Secret Service, they're all on the roof and they're all talking, and none of them really know what they're talking about because they didn't even know how to get up there on top of the roof. I guess at one point it was too hot. That's why they weren't anywhere on these roofs.
It was
So
within
it's
line
like,
of sight of that sniper.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing. Okay. Anywho, moving on. A little bit about Thomas Crooks. Actually, I want to go into the history lesson first.
Please.
Okay. So, in the course of our American history, we have had 12 presidential or presidential candidate assassination or assassination attempts. Okay. I didn't know if you guys knew the full number. I know the last one you guys spoke about was Ronald Reagan, and there was actually one sooner than him. Okay. So obviously the first one that almost all of us know was the shooter John Wilkes Booth, and Abraham Lincoln, our 16th president, who is actually was confirmed a Republican. Okay.
Oh, John Wilkes Booth was a Republican?
No.
no, Abraham Lincoln.
Okay, yeah.
was a confirmed Republican.
Right.
Okay. Obviously, President Lincoln died, right? Our 20th president. Does anyone know who our 20th U.S. president was?
Hell
Was
no.
it wasn't Garfield, was it?
Yes, actually it was. Give him the horns. That is awesome.
Somebody give him the horns, because I can't do it on mine.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
I
me
can't
see.
give them to myself.
Right.
Oops.
All right.
There we go. There we go. Okay. So James Garfield was our 20th U.S. president. He also was a Republican, and he died from assassination. Okay. Actually, I believe what that one was when I was reading it was he died of gangrene from the bullet. Okay. So horrible way to go, right? William McKinley is our 25th president. So we're kind of seeing 16th, 20th, 25th. His
Every
name
4
again
years, practically.
was William McKinley. He was a Republican, and he also died from assassination.
Okay.
Theodore Roosevelt, presidential candidate, Republican, survived an assassination attempt. Okay. The next one we have is Franklin Roosevelt, our 32nd president, who is the first on our list of Democratic presidents who also he did survive, and he was unharmed, meaning he didn't actually take any kind of injury whatsoever from the assassination attempt. Okay. That puts us at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of our 12. So Theodore Roosevelt wasn't a president, so I didn't put a number there. But our next one is going to be the famous one, right? John F. Kennedy. Or actually, no, Franklin Roosevelt.
Again?
You just
No,
did that
never
one.
mind. Okay, John F. Kennedy, right? We all know
The magic
what
bullet.
happened with the magic bullet. You know,
Back and to the left.
all of that. Okay. Obviously, he died. He was our 35th president. So, 10 presidents behind presidential candidate Trump. Okay. The next one is going to be his brother, Robert F. Kennedy, presidential candidate, another Democrat. So we've got Franklin Roosevelt, John F. Kennedy, Robert F. Kennedy, presidential candidate, Democrat. He died from an assassination. Okay. The last Democrat on our list is going to be presidential candidate George Wallace. He was a Democrat. He survived. He was shot 4 times, and one of the bullets lodged into his spinal column, and he was permanently, permanently paralyzed. He survived, but he's paralyzed. Now, we're going to get into our 38th president, Republican Gerald Ford.
Oh.
He survived 2 assassination attempts.
Wow.
Dude's a trooper. Okay. Obviously, the one you all talked about is our 40th president, President Ronald Reagan. He's a Republican, and he survived his assassination attempt. Now, the one that you guys did not know, in 2005, okay, George W. Bush.
JW.
Yeah. Enlighten us, Herbert.
Yes,
No, wait.
sir. He
Yeah, it's Herbert.
survived. He survived an assassination attempt with a grenade.
Oh, I remember that.
Wasn't the shoe? You remember the dude with the shoe?
Is I think he was, if I saw it correctly, he was in a foreign country, and for some reason, again, I was trying to race putting all this together, so the country could be wrong that I'm about to say. So in the comments, please don't you know.
Oh, murder.
Yeah, don't assassinate me. I believe he was in Egypt. Okay, and someone wrapped in a cloth a grenade and threw it at George W. Bush, but the cloth actually kept it to where the pin would, not the pin, but the plunger wouldn't come out, so it didn't actually explode. But that's still
Still an
Dear
attempt.
Lord.
Yeah, right.
right. And then obviously the most recent one that we're talking about right now, Donald Trump, our 45th president and current presidential candidate, Republican, and he survived. I'm gonna be honest, barely.
Yeah.
And the reason why I
half
say
an inch.
barely, yeah, half an inch in a different direction, and he would have been not with us anymore. Okay,
Like the wind itself could have made a big difference in that.
absolutely, 100%. So I actually bring this up because if you take a look of the 12, right? 4 are Democrats, and of those 2 Democrats, 2 of them were presidential candidates. Okay. The rest are Republican. There seems to be a trend in our U.S. history. Factual. I'm not
Making it
making
up,
assumptions. Okay. There's a factual trend. There is an issue with Republican presidents in our country. The reason why I bring that up is because let's go back to our shooter for Donald Trump, Thomas Crook, registered Republican,
Yep, Republican.
but financial donator to
A Democratic.
the Democratic Party, super PACs. Okay, so my this is now where we get into theory. Okay,
Now, let me ask you: is this theory or is this we're going down a rabbit hole?
this is my theory.
Okay. So
I'm
it
being
can be
honest.
either or. Okay.
Yeah,
Go
this
ahead.
is my theory.
Go ahead.
Okay. My theory is given the track record of our U.S. history, okay, typically an individual who is in favor of that party isn't going to assassinate their own party.
You would assume that, yes.
Okay, that is a safe assumption.
Yes.
Okay. So my assumption is that Thomas Crook is a registered Republican in show only, but more on the I'm going to say radical, obviously. Okay. And I say radical because he's radical. He's not a normal individual.
Right.
Okay. I don't want to sit here and say that all Democrats are bad because that's not what I'm saying at all. But I believe that the registering as a Republican was in show only, and that he was of the radical left side. And I will sit here and say that the radical right side is just as evil. I'm going to put that out there right now. Okay.
Well, one thing I want to comment on that: Dad is a libertarian and Mom's a Democrat. So they kind of said that too. So I mean, it would track for me. I could also see him registering as a Republican to be a part of the Republican primary, because you like if if I'm a registered Democrat, I don't get to vote in the Republican primary from our Republican representative or whatever. So maybe
Right.
he did that so that he could vote on that side. You know,
Maybe.
again, that's a
And
speculation at that point.
the place was Tbilisi, Georgia.
Georgia. Okay, so it was not Egypt.
Yeah. Tbilisi is the place, though.
Right. But again, no one really sits here and remembers the assassination attempt on George W. Bush.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I think we also in this spectrum of things, right? Because technically we're talking about this presidential election.
Yep.
Right. I believe in that episode you guys had talked about how that versus Joe Biden. I called it that day. As soon as there was the assassination attempt on Donald Trump, I said, "There's our next president." It bound to happen. The dude survived. Okay, bound to happen.
The fist pump, bro. The
blood.
Yeah, the
flag in the back.
The flag in the back. Oh my God! I was like, there it is.
There it is.
Right. And then they superimposed the eagle. They superimposed the eagle on him, and then they put it on a shirt. And I was just like, oh, these motherfuckers. Right.
Again, who's going to vote against a dude who almost died?
Yeah.
I mean, there'll be people that vote against him, but it won't be enough.
No, it won't.
You know what I
There's
mean?
our next U.S. president. Especially now, because this week we had a bombshell since our last episode, which was episode 9. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and drop that bombshell.
In U.S. political news this week, Joe Biden came out of nowhere, and there's conspiracy theories on this as well.
Yeah. Because I don't think this came out of nowhere. But
that he has pulled out of the U.S. presidential election campaign completely, and he has now nominated
Kamala Harris.
Vice President
right.
He has endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris. Okay, and I know 2 of you guys live in that state and remember her as AG.
Oh yeah,
I know.
Yeah. Even
I
as a
remember
district
her.
attorney in,
I remember
San
as
Francisco.
AG.
Yeah.
Okay, and
So I was listening to Candace Owens. Y'all know who that is, right?
oh, I love Candace Owens.
I'm not a fan of Candace Owens.
I
but-
wish she would run. I'm
She
being
was
honest.
talking mad shit about. She was like, "Yeah, this is the same lady that hold her way to the top." I was
saw
like,
that.
"Damn!" And then you see her with Montel.
I saw that.
Montel Williams. I was like, "Oh shit!" You know?
I have mixed feelings there.
Let's get out of the personal skeevy, all of that. Okay.
Yeah.
And literally just look at her track record that the 3 of us at least are familiar with living in California at that time, right? It was a shit
Oh yeah,
show.
she was taking people down.
It was a shit show. Okay. She
I
was
think
also
she had like
releasing.
200.
Like she was part of that felon release program.
She also took like down supposedly like 200 and something odd people, with arrests and shit, but only 45 people were able to be arrested.
I mean, convicted.
Convicted, I'm sorry.
I mean, she's got a horrendous track record, and
Well, this is what I'm going to say about that. Well, first of all, are you done with your point on just her initially?
yeah, my initial
okay.
point. Now we're open to discussion on
Okay.
because
Yeah, we
this
just-
is this week's news,
Right.
right?
This is a
Yes.
podcast, man.
Right. So, so my initial reaction to that, to me, I'm just gonna put this on record. We already know, and we had talked about it during that episode. If he was to drop out, he was gonna have whoever was the replacement had to boots to the ground. It was gonna be very hard. You're late in the game, and the DNC is in August, so that doesn't leave a lot of time between now and this is like 20 days out, 25 days out for her to campaign and to earn that nomination, because it's not set in stone. She doesn't get it. And I really think a couple things is, again, just like how we kind of feel about her, where there were some things that she wasn't positive. There was some things that were not positive. There are some things that people believe were positive. Um, you know, one of the guys out here, his name's Will Tran. He's for Cron 4. He did an interview on her when she was, because he's in San Francisco, so he kind of followed her career, and he had just stated like she always seemed like she was higher than her place. And he just said that was kind of an uneasy feeling, and that's what I got. That's what interpreted to me when he said that. He said, "Well, every time I interviewed her, every time she made these steps up, so she doesn't necessarily have a great. She didn't leave a good impression on a lot of us that was out here. Now, not only that, she has a short amount of time to campaign. And then from August to November, she still, even if she gets the nomination, she still has a long road. I really think
she's got to fight an individual who just survived an assassination attempt.
Right.
I mean,
yeah, the scary part, and again, this is the news that we get out here, so that's why I love like what are the spins of things that we're getting in different places, right? So the spin out here is that she potentially has a really good shot because
Right.
they did a campaign and she raised over $50 million within 6 hours of her announcing that, and then um, I was gonna go into detail but I can't go into it without throwing names out there. I don't want to throw no names out there. But I mean, so there a lot of the donations were less than $10. They were like $10, $20. So I think they're getting very excited that there are a lot of individuals backing her versus corporations backing her or super PACs backing her. So there is a spark of excitement. There is this, and who knows what that's going to translate to as she continues her campaign. So that's kind of like how it is. Like she has a really good shot. I think it's also going to be determined on who she picks as a running mate. Because I think who she picks
Yeah.
as a running mate is going to either skyrocket her or tank her. Like so she has to be very careful about who she
Yeah.
picks as a running mate. I'm not a political analyst, guys. I'm just throwing this out there. Those are my thoughts. That's how it's getting spun out here. There's a lot of
Yeah.
excitement out here in our area about her nomination and her chances. I just honestly, my thing is it's going to be uphill battle, and we'll just again we have till November to kind of see how it pans out.
so I know one of the things that's getting spun out here, right, is um, the media flip flop. Okay. Um, how many of you guys remember Biden nominating, or not nominating, but appointing her as the border czar?
I will say this: I haven't heard anything about her, about what she's done or where
For a
she's been
long
for the
time.
last three
All
and a
this
half
whole.
years. This whole time.
Yep.
So she started coming out in the
That's
news. I don't
that's
remember that.
surprising as hell. That's surprising as hell.
Yeah.
Because I remember that that President Biden, right, nominated her to be in charge of the root cause issues of the border crossings and all of that. Like that was
Okay.
her job to go take care
Okay.
of, right? And he specifically named it the border czar. I remember
Borders
that.
are. Here we go.
Hit it. Hit
I
hit hit
remember
us.
that.
Hit us, Sensei.
Yeah.
What's it say?
Oh, no, I was just looking at the House GOP approves resolution condemning Harris as border czar.
Okay.
Well, but
I'm just
that's kind of what's starting to flip flop in the media. Is what I'm getting at.
Okay.
Right? Is back then.
oh
Go ahead.
yeah, it says Kamala Harris is 3 days ago. Time magazine. Kamala Harris wasn't the border czar. Here's what she said.
It's flip flopping.
I
The
never even
media
knew
is
that.
now going back around because I've seen montages of this.
Okay.
Okay, of like back when it happened that hey, Kamala Harris is now the border czar to take care of this, that, and the other, and now it's
We
flip
don't,
flopping.
what is
now
a
that
border
the media is
czar? Can
saying-
we?
So a czar is like like a like a dictator. It's like Russian or something like that. Right? If you put in, it's CZAR, I believe is how it's spelled. And if you
Yeah, it is.
find,
It is.
yeah, and if you look at the
It says
definition,
a Russian word for ruler or emperor.
right? Yeah. So
Okay.
so she was supposed to be like the border person. Like that was her job was
Hey, hey, you ain't stop shit.
but what I'm sitting here looking at now that she's been nominated by President Joe Biden, right? I'm seeing these montages of like the same newscast, right? Back when it happened, hey, President or Vice President Kamala Harris says our borders are to today, same cast sitting here saying Republicans are now naming her the failed border czar, whatever that is, and stuff like that. I'm like, whoa, we have an issue here because back when it happened, it was praised, but now that it's something that could smudge her track record as a presidential candidate, it's becoming, oh, hey, whoa, you guys are putting this name on her and making it a negative connotation. She was never this.
Okay.
Okay, that is what I have seen this past week.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
it come out a week ago.
right. So what I'm getting at is that you, Sean, specifically pointed this out a little bit earlier in this episode of this is why you like seeing what is spun in different areas.
Yep.
Right. I'm seeing the flip flop of the media.
And I'm not gonna lie to you,
100%.
I did not know any of that. Like I'm gonna tell you when she started coming out after the debate is when I kind of like, dang, where you been?
Right.
I was like, what have you done? Where have you been? I knew she was at some rallies helping other people campaign, but other than that, like it was kind of like Mike Pence. I didn't know what the hell where the hell he was either, and I was like, maybe that's par for the course. Like you're not supposed to know what the vice president does. So when she came out, I was like, where you been? So I did not.
No, she's been around. I've been seeing her for the past 3.5 years, doing interview after stupid interview after stupid interview where she can't talk.
Yeah,
Okay?
like I said,
Now I did hear. I've heard about those times, but it wasn't much. I guess over here in the Bay Area, we didn't.
Yeah, and that's why
I guess you got to.
it's like, no, we're not going to talk bad about her because she's from here, and we're only getting our news locally. So
Right.
if it's not,
Yeah, you gotta go. You gotta go to CNN and all that other stuff.
and
See, and I don't even go to the TV stations. I don't have TV. Okay, I hit the internet.
right.
NPR, baby. No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
Okay.
See, but that's kind of so. I guess my point necessarily isn't necessarily to trash on Kamala Harris. My point is, don't believe the media.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah. I mean, I always
So don't believe the internet.
Don't your news stations. Seriously, don't believe the news stations.
You know what?
No.
I'm gonna say this, right? When it comes to news, we know they're only owned by 8 stations. It don't.
Yep.
It's 8 companies that's out there, and
They
my
will
thing
control and spin anything they want to.
right. And my thing is with that whole thing, and this is what you have to understand, right? Is JD Vance, he was an anti-Trumper for life. Anti-Trumper for life. Never, blah, 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 blah. And now he has to backtrack all of his stuff. And because now he's the presidential, he's the vice president, right? Or he's, his running mate.
Candidate.
Yeah. He's his running mate. So now you have to,
Weird, right?
I mean,
just kind of putting that out there.
Yeah,
If I were President Trump, I'm gonna pick a never Trumper.
right.
Weird.
Right. And,
Good call.
But you know what though? It's like when you sit here and you see stuff like that, call it out. Call that out. Like, hey, this and that. I mean, like you said, what we don't get the call outs about Kamala here. We get the call outs for JD Vance. Right.
Yes.
I mean, immediately that was like, oh, JD Vance, blah 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 blah. I mean, the same thing with Biden. When Biden was appointed a vice president for Obama, that was strategic. He was like, I'm a brother. I need somebody that's going to get me that other vote. That's how I feel the vice president is. Same thing with Pence. Pence was a politician and Trump wasn't. So Pence could convince, the politicians or the people that are into politics that, hey, they could. I think personally that JD Vance was picked because he could be a rollover at this point. and um, I feel that because Trump couldn't get over on Pence because Pence was a politician. I feel that JD Vance, he hasn't been a politician for a long time. I feel that Trump could. Oh, where'd I stop at?
Uh, Trump couldn't
It
get
was
over on
probably us
Pence.
that froze.
Well, it's like if I freeze, that means you guys froze for me.
Mhm.
So
Right.
I was just saying that I feel that JD Vance hasn't been a politician as long, and I feel that Trump picked him so that he could roll over on him and kind of get him to do what he wanted him to do, which he couldn't do with Pence.
Can I rebuttal that
Of
just for a
course,
second?
please.
Okay. See, and I don't. I see it as a different strategic. I want that guy to help me get certain votes. Okay. Have you looked at Hillbillyology at all on Netflix?
No. Nope.
Okay.
Is it good?
I haven't watched it. My mom did, right? And they said it was great. Okay. He wrote that book, and it's about his life story.
Ooh,
Okay.
Vance?
JD Vance.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
and they turned it into a Netflix movie. The dude grew up broke.
Okay.
Okay.
I know nothing about him. I just know that he's not a lifetime politician.
He's not.
Yeah.
Okay. The dude grew up broke, and then he was a U.S. Marine.
Yes. Yep. I didn't know he
Okay.
was in the service.
So what I'm seeing, okay, Trump, got a small loan of what, $5 million from his dad, right? That dude
Well,
and the broke dude. Okay? Coming together, that's what I see. I see JD Vance as Trump's cling to getting the middle class, or the lower class.
I could.
That's what I see.
Yeah. And you
Even
know,
with
I mean,
all
we
the-
get somebody that was a draft dodger, and somebody that was in the service, so he could lean on that. I get. Again, for me, and I think we're in agreement is that the vice president really is a strategic pick.
Oh, 100%.
That's the whip. That's
Yeah.
what they call the whip.
Right. So I feel, again, going back to Kamala and her campaign, is that she has to
Yeah, it's
come
gonna-
out with a strong choice. Otherwise, I think it's gonna, if she picks the wrong candidate, she's gonna tank it. So we'll see.
So, my opinion, real quick,
Please.
because last episode I stated that I felt like if Biden didn't step down, it would be because he was trying to get her, get elected and then step down and let her take over. I feel like, personally, in my opinion, again, all the other Democrats talked him into stepping down now so that he couldn't do that.
Yeah.
But who can do that?
Where Biden couldn't just what is that? The 27th Amendment?
Yeah. When if he was to step down or get sick during,
Yeah.
or if he was to pass away during his presidency, the vice president would automatically take over.
Take over.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
I
that's
don't. I
the
don't
next
think the
move.
other Democrats wanted that to happen.
Yeah.
That's why they talked him into stepping down before the election.
Honestly,
I've got a follow up question. Not a follow
I
up.
mean, she's still got time.
go ahead.
Yeah, there's still time for-
next topic.
Yeah, I mean, there's still time, and that could be coming later on here, within the next couple of weeks or a month, where he's not fit to be even president. And she steps in as
Oh, like right now.
as
Oh, so you're already
Yes.
going into my next topic.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I think that's the next move. Besides her winning it, that she becomes the first woman president. That's my theory.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he has
Just because he may not be fit to even finish his duties out.
right.
That's,
You know how
that's
they
actually
do on the
where I was-
submarine, sir? I'm relieving you of your duties. Yeah.
We appreciate your time to the district, and you are relieved. But go ahead, Njord. You were
That was going to be my very next question. Was, obviously, there's a lot of theories that are kind of circling around all of a sudden why Joe Biden stepped down. Okay, especially when what was it, like a week or two prior, He was yelling from the podium that I am in this. I'm going to keep fighting this, that, and the other.
Right.
And now all of a sudden, out of nowhere,
I'm
I-
out.
First out of
No,
nowhere,
man,
but then
nowhere. He ended up catching COVID. So
but
supposedly, we really don't.
but still, what I'm getting at is his staffers didn't even know about this. This was just a social media post that he put out saying that I'm resigning from the campaign trail.
It could have been anybody saying that.
But from what I was hearing, they're like all the other Democratic Party people were like trying to convince him to step down.
But this is
From
also
running.
well from that was because of the debate, right? But the
No,
other
I thought it was in
conspiracy
general.
that's kind of going on this, right, is that letter that he like posted to social media is not his signature at the bottom.
Bada bing.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just there's just a bunch of questions that are circling all of this. So my question to you all, okay, look at Joe Biden this last year. Take your politics out of it. Okay. Do you believe that President Joe Biden is fit to serve until February? Meaning, okay.
Wait, is it January or February? The inauguration happens in January, right?
Okay, so January.
Okay, all right.
So here's what I want you to think about when you go to answer this question. Okay. Hypothetically speaking, let's say Red Dawn happens. Okay. But
And explain that to us, Red Dawn.
I was about to Google.
You've never
Please.
seen Red Dawn? The movie?
Wait, I was about to say, you guys don't get that reference?
Yeah, that's what I thought it was, but I thought it was something.
So
I
one
thought
of
he-
them, one of the movies is China invades America. The other one is Russia invades America. Okay.
Oh no, I haven't seen this movie.
I was like, oh, I get that reference. I'm that old, and I'm talking about the original one with
Oh, dude,
That's on
trust
my
me,
list.
classic.
I will.
We got 4.
I'll,
But Red
I'll
Dawn.
be checking that out.
Okay. But what I'm getting at is, let's say there's some world event, okay, that requires America to respond with military force. Okay, at 2:00 in the morning.
Nah, you can't wake old boy up.
That's my question. Do
He
you
got
believe?
he got his CPAP machine mask on. He sleep.
Hey, I take offense to that.
that our current commander in chief, is up for the
I
job.
got one too, dog.
No. I mean, well, no.
No. I'm gonna just answer it no.
Sean's got some
They
food
gonna
in
wake
his
him.
mouth, and
They
he's
they gonna wake. They gonna try and wake him up. He gonna have that look on his face like, oh, what?
So-
But I have
Okay.
more.
dog face pony soldier. I mean, what?
okay, so here's my thing. Right off the rip, no. I'd say that right off the rip. But I believe about this about every president, right? It's not just the president that's doing this. Like, they obviously have to make that final word. There's generals, there's chiefs of staff, there's other people in place.
Everyone in the world is in the situation room with them. Yes.
Right, you know what I'm saying? So this is what I feel about every president. So let's just not even talk about Sleepy Joe, all right? And but there's more than just them making the decision. They're the ones just have to give the okay.
The advice.
Yes. Or no,
There's
people
other people
consulting
giving
him.
the advice.
Right.
They're the ones that get on TV and say, "We are going to blow you to smithereens." Oh wait, that was just Bush.
Yeah,
He
so
gonna be sitting there like,
let me just say this because I don't want to offend anybody. When I say Sleepy Joe, let me apologize for that. 'Cause I shouldn't say stuff like that in a derogatory sense. So let me just throw that out there so I don't get assassinated.
Let's keep it respectful.
Right.
President Joe Biden.
Yes,
Okay?
President Joe Biden. There's just more.
Sleepy
There's
Joe.
more going on than that. So if I was to say right off the rip, no. I mean, again, his public appearance and the optics, the way it looks, that's the same thing with Mitch McConnell. That's the same thing with Nancy Dianne Feinstein. That's the same.
Feinstein, yeah.
Yeah, that's the same thing with Judge Gainsbourg. I can't even remember her name, but you know, what I mean,
Ruth Gator Ginsburg.
yeah. So as these folks are like aging up, you know, it's just like, well, again, are they fit for duty? There's more people going on, but right off the rip, I gotta say no. I don't think he'd be up for the job.
Did you know Martha Stewart was older than him
Then who?
I believe it.
Biden?
and Joe Biden?
Oh yeah, but she looked good for like 83.
81, 80, she like 82, 83. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, so you guys have just answered that right off the rip, you don't believe that he is up for
Will
that.
be fit for duty. No.
Okay. Do you believe he should resign immediately then?
Yes. There's no.
Okay,
well,
hold on. You said yes. His initial reaction, Krinlee's initial reaction.
He's
I
not
want to
ready.
get that while it's hot right there.
Okay.
Because
Really?
that would be like asking me, do I think Kamala's ready for that?
Doesn't matter if she's ready.
Regardless, that's not the question that I asked because that's not the choice that we have. Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm saying
You
if
don't
he
keep a
stepped
guy
down,
you don't keep a guy as a president just because you don't like the next person in line.
Exactly.
Okay, you don't do
Nah.
that.
Well, no, but-
Especially, so again, here's the thing, right?
We look weak.
Sean just sat here and said that there's a lot of other people that are with him in that situation room. Here's the
Right.
problem: we, the people, did not elect those people. Okay.
Yep.
We did not elect them.
no.
So no, I'm sorry, but you don't get to sit here and keep a guy in office just because you don't like the next person in line.
We didn't secure. What was Colin Powell's title?
I couldn't tell you.
Secretary of State, right?
yeah.
Yeah, we didn't elect that Secretary of State. Could have swore we did, right?
No president elects those.
Yeah, they get
Correct.
appointed.
Oh,
They go through Senate
Okay,
confirmation,
okay, I got you.
right? So we elect the senators to try to do what we want them to do, right?
Mhm.
And then they go and do Senate confirmation. So that's the same with the House cabinet members. Okay, they go through Senate confirmation, all of that. But we the people do not elect them. We elect the people who say yes or no to those people. But the majority of the individuals that are going to be in the situation room at 2:00 in the morning with President Joe Biden are military individuals. Okay, that we did not
just
elect.
think- I just think it makes us look weak as a
To
country.
what? To what?
To have him in office right now.
Oh, absolutely.
We need somebody that's coherent, somebody that can sit down and have a full blown conversation and not have to read off a prompt or not have to try and remember anything. We need somebody in there which she is. You know, I'm just keeping
She's-
it 1,000.
Yeah, no, plainly speaking, okay, she can carry a conversation. She knows what room she's in. She knows what day it is. Okay, she has the mental awareness to do the job. Regardless of how I feel about her personally, okay, our current president, our current commander in chief, I do not have any confidence that he can do the job. I mean, come on, guys. We've all seen those TV shows or movies where that general gets kicked out because he's too aggressive.
Yep.
Okay. Come
There
on,
we
guys.
go.
There
We've
he
all
is.
seen the videos or the movies or this, that, and the other where that general gets kicked out of the situation room because they were too aggressive.
Right.
Okay. By the president. All right. So just sitting here saying, like, can Joe Biden make that call to be like, no, mother trucker, you need to get out because you're not listening? Or is that general going to steamroll because Joe Biden doesn't know what room he's in and he thinks it's Africa that's attacking us, the continent, not the country?
You know what? I'm gonna say no. And like right off the rip, should he resign? Not okay. So here's the deal. So you said this is a very specific. You know, we're about to go to war. A couple things with that. We just don't go to war. Obviously, Congress has to declare war, so we don't get to make that decision.
You're correct about war, but military response in an emergency, the president
Yeah.
does have full right and power to launch military action.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
he's saying if we were to get attacked.
so if we're going to war, so again, I'm just I'm trying to address the who we elected, who's elected in the room, right? So as far as like us going to war, that's not the decision of the president. That has to be
That's
by
correct.
Congress. So as far as military response, and can he do it? See, the thing is, it is optics. It is the way this looks, and I think Sensei said it best. We look weak because of this, that, the other thing. My thing about him resigning too soon, number one, if it's going to happen, he should be removed because they've deemed him unfit. Not that he just needs to resign just because. Because there's other things besides that, besides war, that he's dealing with. And to basically be in negotiations with foreign policy and, whatever backdoor deals he's making with Congress and all these other things. There's other things that the president is doing and has that game plan that's already the blueprint. There's certain things that are going on. It's just like he's in the middle of other deals and negotiations that if they swap, then a lot of those deals that we don't know about potentially, are gone with him.
Right.
So in the case of, we went to war and he was in the room stuttering and whatever, and he couldn't, put two sentences together, then he needs to be relieved of his post, is what I feel. There's other things that are going on that I feel that if he was to leave now very abruptly, there's a lot of deals that will die. And I don't know if it's positive or negative for us, but I feel there's more to the presidency than just that aspect of military action. And that's why I point out he has advisors that are in the Situation Room that also could give him the advice that he feels he needs to have. I do agree with, hey, if he was a step down, and Kamala Harris is not going to be a bad, interim president until whatever happens. So that's the aspect that I bring. Is I don't think so because there's other things that are going on, other negotiations that are happening. That again, we're already behind when it comes to passing budgets and bills and all this stuff, and the work that he's put in for that goes away as well.
He's already tanked that by resigning his campaign trail. He's got no political leverage whatsoever within Congress or the Senate.
Well, what if they were to pass anything that comes up prior to him, prior to January?
No, that's what I'm saying right now because he's not an incumbent anymore, right? All his political leverage is gone.
Okay.
He's now just a chairholder at the moment because he resigned from the campaign trail. The same thing happened with Obama at the end of his second term. Okay, things stalled at the end of his last term, and that's because he's on his way out. He's got no negotiating power with Senate or Congress because guess what? He's not going to be here come January.
Right. No, you're right. But again, that's the thing I wouldn't say, because then does Kamala?
Because she would be running for president, she could make promises or deals as if she does get elected. Yeah. Does that make sense? Same thing as an incumbent president.
She has more political leverage than he does.
Correct.
More sway.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. Well, again, that's why I just threw that out there. I don't think so because of other things that are going on, but yeah, I mean, obviously if that happens and he loses his, and then again that stalls everything, and then now we got to start negotiations again. So, that's the reason why I was saying no. There's more going on to just military action.
Right. Again, obviously, military action is the biggest one that the president have his executive privilege to do right then and there. Right. So that's why I wanted to focus on that.
Okay. All right. Where are we
going? That concludes my stuff.
Hey, that was good.
Oh,
no, yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Actually, I take that back. I have on episode 8, you all had a conversation getting over to the name of our podcast, right? The Dad Life. You guys brought
Okay.
up a topic about, father in the home.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep.
Okay. Krinlee, you're an awesome individual. Okay.
Thank you.
I think you are dead wrong on your stance. Okay. And hey, I'm
That's
coming
fine.
back with a vengeance, right?
Right. Remind
good.
us, because
Hey, let her rip.
right.
Okay. There, because here's the thing. You can have
Oh, I
a-
remember. Well, what?
Yeah.
As a reminder, let's bring up what you feel he's dead wrong on.
Okay, so you sat here and you said that it shouldn't be gender specific. Okay, that a mom can do the same thing, this, that, and the other, and you know what? There are some aspects of fatherhood, right, or the male, whatever you want to call it, okay, that a female, a mom could do, okay, and I'm gonna be honest with you. There's some aspects that a effeminate male can't even teach. Okay, and I'm not throwing shade at my own life, and I'm not throwing shade at effeminate males. Okay, I'm at all. I'm just speaking on my own personal life experience. Okay, um, my father is a man's man. Okay, like completely tearing down Ford Rangers and rebuilding them again. I mean, going camping in the woods for 7 days straight, right? Like, man's man,
Yeah.
right? My stepdad, love the man to death. Okay, so I'm not throwing any kind of shade to him whatsoever. He's been around since I was 3 years old. All right,
Just a different man.
completely. He's the homemaker. Okay, he's the one that cooks. He's the one that cleans. He's the one that does all that. But I grew up with my mom. Okay, and my stepdad. I never learned how to work on a car. Right? I am able to change a tire because I've got common sense. Like, hey, jack this up. Okay, there's bolts there, and guess what? I'm blue collar and I work with all that stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay, that seems easy, right? But
Putting a
I
serpentine belt on, you take some
I
little
have no
work,
clue.
huh?
I have no clue. I can change my oil. I've changed my brakes. Okay, but I YouTubed it. Right, I had to teach myself.
Yeah.
Okay. Another thing that you said, that the topic that kind of came up within that episode was, what if dad is treating mom a certain kind of way? You know, that son is gonna pick up on it and think that that's okay to treat women like that.
Well,
And
yeah.
Crinley, again, I'm kind of ragging on you, but
That's
brother,
fine. Go ahead.
I
Bring it
love you.
on.
You're awesome. Okay, I just disagree.
Bring it on,
I
baby.
disagree with your standpoints. Okay, and the reason why is because I've seen it again with my own eyes. All right, my thank God he doesn't watch this. Okay, my father is on his third marriage. Okay, he cheated on my mom's when he got deployed. Okay, my middle brother was born from that deployment. Right, got together with her, cheated on her. Okay, with his now wife. Treated my first stepmom. I had to remember the numbers. Treated
Right.
my first stepmom like crud, right? And I've got one brother who grew up a womanizer, right? Definitely that way of like, hit it and quit it. Yeah, let's go. Like, yeah, right? And then I've got my other brother, my youngest one, who is more tenderhearted, right? And actually cares. He's the one who's actually married and has a kid. My younger brother, right? Because I'm actually the oldest. Has two kids with two separate moms and isn't married, right? It's situationally learned. It's environmentally learned. Whether they see the tension in the house or not, whether they see moms crying, whether they don't see it, they see it. They learn it. They pick it up, right? And depending on their personality is how they're gonna run with it. Now, if I had a boy, right, sit here and see that I love my wife very much, right? He'd see that all three of you love your wives very much and how you properly take care of a woman. That individual can also sit here and be like, okay, this is how you're going to treat a woman when you take her out on her first date. You're going to go pick her up, bring some flowers. If she lives with her mom, you're going to take her mom some flowers too. Okay, you're going to open up the car door. You're not going to text her when you get into the driveway. You're going to go up to the damn door, kid. Okay? I've got a daughter, right? We all know this. This is end of season 2. If you don't know I've got a daughter, there's an issue.
They better come to that door. She ain't going.
That's exactly right.
That's it.
Okay.
Shit.
And you better bring her home 30 minutes before,
The
curfew.
deadline.
It's time to
Right.
be there.
Okay. But these are expectations that we have to teach our men, or the next generation of men. Okay. But we also need the right men in that household teaching these young men that, hey, it's okay. I'm going to go back to season 1 for us, right? Or season 4. It's okay to go get mental health help.
Right.
Okay? It's
Yep.
okay to talk about your feelings. It's okay to communicate with your spouse.
Yep.
Okay? And if you have the wrong type of male in that house who's teaching these young men, we're not going to have that.
Yep. And that was a sentiment. I mean, that was what I felt. If you guys didn't listen to the episode, it was a woman was on a show and she had said, she was getting into it with her son, and her son said, "If you love me so much, why didn't you teach me to survive the situations that you were trying to protect me from?" And so that hit me hard, right? And it was, but she was just like, it hit her in the mouth, and her answer was she couldn't teach her son how to protect himself in the situations. And she's African American, so it's African American young man. So there's obviously situations that he was going to run into that she wouldn't have known how to help him survive through, regardless if it was, running the streets or getting pulled over by a cop. So, and she just was floored, and she just said that there needs to be a good male influence in the house to teach the young boys, whatever color they are, that this is how you deal with, this is how you survive. And I was talking to my wife about it, and I think I shared this in the episode as well. My wife was like, I don't want us to go walk across major streets, like on our little bike rides and our little walks, because they don't know how to cross these streets. And, I just took my daughter, and we're like, the wife took the son to swim lessons, which is about you guys, okay, you guys are moving. um, that, that's about a 20-minute walk away. And you had to cross two busy streets. And I said, let's go. And I'm, walking her down the street, get to the big thing, tell her how to cross, where to look, what button to hit, what to wait for, and where I'm more prone to, let me just teach you how to cross a street, a busy street, versus just avoiding it. And I think that was a prime example as to what some of the differences are between mothers and fathers. And go ahead. That was basically it right there. Just an example of what, my wife's more nurturing and protective. And I'm like, no, let's just put you through in a situation and teach you how to get through it.
So I'm a little bit of the opposite, actually, in my household, right? I'm the one who's like, hey, I don't want to hit on my insurance. Okay, so like,
Oh my God.
let's not let her climb that. Okay, but I'm gonna take it to another reason why you need a man, a good, let me rephrase, a good man in the house. Okay, discipline. First and foremost, right? Like, there's something to be said about the deep, attention-getting voice. Okay, and I see it day to day right now with my daughter. Right, My wife can sit here and can holler at baby Freya, um, and she doesn't listen. I holler at her, and all of a sudden the tears start coming. Okay, there's a different fear there, right? And statistically speaking, okay, and I'm not talking about skin color, none of that. Okay, if there's not a man in the household, they're more prone to be getting into trouble.
Hmm.
Okay,
That's real.
does not matter skin color at all. I know there's stereotypes, but y'all get that out of your head. Okay, it doesn't matter. If there's not a positive male role model in the house, there's going to be trouble with crime, or getting in trouble with the police, or with school, or this, that, and the other. Why? Because they weren't disciplined. That attention getting, oh my god, kind of discipline that I'm getting from my 2.5-year-old without even touching her.
Yep.
Okay, and that's necessary.
Yep. And so yeah, I mean, very good points. And yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, I mean, what else?
Y'all go check out that episode.
You're right.
Episode 8.
Yeah.
That's season 5, episode 8. Yeah.
You're right.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Well, you
Right.
know, we're about an hour and 16 minutes, so we need to wrap this one up.
Welcome back, right?
Welcome back, Njord.
So again, really good conversation, guys. You know, obviously going through 10 episodes. You know, so this is officially our 20th episode. But that I'm also gonna count After Dark episodes. So, I mean, you're looking at 40 episodes automatically.
Oh, wow. Bang.
Wait, so does that mean that we hit?
No.
No, right? Because we have 20 episodes available. Obviously, it'll be 10 for behind the scenes, and then we got to do a quick one for our 10th. For this is technically 39 episodes. So first of all, just great job, everybody. If you didn't check out the seasons or the whole season, check them out. They're really good. Not only episode 8, but there's a bunch of great topics that are out there that we talk about. And then, of course, obviously, if there's anything that you want to bring to us and you want us to talk about it, and what I've been noticing is that breaking news is a very good thing. We just need to start talking about what's going on in the world at this point and put our spin on it and what our thoughts are, because I think a lot of people relate to those. So,
Well, especially dads,
yeah.
right?
No.
Yeah.
Because we're preparing our kids to go into the world, so we're kind of hyper vigilant on what's going on out in the world.
Right. Right.
That.
I mean, that's basically it. Obviously, besides we get our regular shout outs out there, is there any kind of final thoughts for this season finale that any of you guys want to throw out there?
I just want to thank you guys for everything, all the
Hey.
differing opinions that you guys bring to the table. Like going back to the episode we were just talking about. Sensei gave me a different perspective on fathers. Now NjordGod's giving me another different perspective. So I appreciate it.
Yeah. Tune into next season.
Yeah.
We got a lot more for y'all, man. This train don't stop, man. We keep it going.
Yep. Njord, you got anything?
Man, this has been a crazy season, and I feel like I only missed 2 episodes, but I feel like I missed a lot.
I think we missed about the same amount.
But I'm glad to be back. I want y'all be vigilant, and we lost Krinlee, unfortunately.
I'm here. My camera's messing up.
Yeah.
Stupid OBS.
Be vigilant. Watch your kids.
Oh,
Okay.
hell yeah.
And figure out what they're getting into. Okay, mine's not at that stage just yet, but a lot of y'all's are. Okay, and keep an eye. Like I said, I mean, this current events. It may not seem like much, but I mean it. We're preparing our kids to be the next generation. We are raising one of the future presidents. Okay, And if you're not raising them right, are you going to be raising a good member of society?
Yeah, amen to that. I mean, yeah,
Amen.
yeah. I mean, amen. Just because
Amen.
it's not even about the ambition. Like, and I'll make this quick. We'll talk about it in After Dark for sure into some
Yeah.
detail. But yeah, I was at a recruiter today with my son. And
Heck yeah.
one of the main things that we talked about is just being America and the opportunity it brings. And but the people that are here taking an advantage of these, are they really taking advantage of it, or are they just seizing opportunity? And we want good people to be out here. That's what we want. That's what I want in my neighborhood. Around me is good people. So yeah, let's get into our After Dark episode here. So if you guys don't got anything else, remain vigilant. The main other thing too, Krinlee brought out is different perspective, guys. We appreciate that. We're from different parts of America, and we could talk about different spins, and we could be open about different subjects. So I'm really loving that. Again, that's what you guys are getting. You listeners are getting from us here at the Dad's Life Podcast. If there isn't anything else, again, shout out to the patrons that are out there. We appreciate your love and support. If you're interested in becoming a patron, you can head over to shadowpackwest.com and sign up to our Patreon page and start your patronage as little as $1 a month. Every little bit counts, but also you guys get that extra episode. And, again, working with these guys, I love working with them. And I'm going to say personally, and I'm just going to say, the Dad Life Podcast started years ago, 2019. And then it stopped. And then it got rebirthed with all you guys. And it's been consistent, boom, 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 boom. And I want to say thank you, because I've done this work before with multiple groups of people. And it's really hard to maintain a consistent schedule with multiple people on multiple time zones. So, thank you for all your hard work and effort on the show thus far. I'm really excited to see where we go in season 6. Because there is a lot still going on, and a lot of stuff's going to play out. And, obviously we're getting real comfortable with each other that we can start talking politics. We can start talking, social, differences. You know what I'm saying? And because I feel comfortable, it's not, going to be one-sided. We're not going to be radical one way or the other, even if we are passionate about something.
Right.
It's still a nice place to sit here and speak on.
And hang out with you guys.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for season 6 where the controversy is going to come out.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's coming, baby. Because because it's gonna be a lot of shit that happened between August and November.
Yeah.
Game on.
So again, I want to say thank you for listening to this episode of the Dad's Life Podcast. Stay tuned for the After Dark episode. But we hope that you tune in next week to the episode 1, season 6, episode 1, where you can get your
Dad
Dad
vibes?
life.
Dad life.
Dad vibes.
Dad
Dad
vibes.
vibes. Yeah, it's getting there. Getting there.
We'll
Repeat
never
after
get
me.
there.
Yeah.
All right.